Welcome to the Artist Loft, the talk show for all artists. Join us each show as we spotlight a variety of different creatives, hosted by the Florida Arts Network, with Richard Sosa and Frank A. Ruffolo.
Hey, folks. How
Welcome,
you all doing?
Lofties.
Yes. What?
Lofties.
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 Oh, Lofties. Oh, Lofties. Yes.
We're
Okay. The artist Lofties. Okay. I guess I'm just upset that I didn't think of that first. You
Yeah.
know, but you have that creative mind.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, I know. Hey, thanks for joining us for yet another episode of the Artist Loft with Richard Sosa and
Frank Ruffolo.
Frank Ruffolo. And yes, we are an arm of the Florida Arts Network. We are a 501c3 nonprofit that wants to not only bring arts to our youth, right, but we want to celebrate the artists that are creating that. And we have one such artist like that here in the studio today. He's a familiar face to you guys. I know you've seen his mug a few times. He covered for me a couple of times.
And you've seen his mugs.
Yes, and you've seen his mugs, right? You stole my thunder, Frank.
I tell you thunder. That's right.
Oh man, you know he does this to me all the time. I don't know. That's okay. I still love you, man. All right. Kenny, MagChop Ruiz.
What's going on,
buddy?
Thank you for the intro. I loved it. He did steal your thunder. He was all over it.
Yep.
I know. You know, he loves to do that to me. I go home and I'm all upset.
He'll be all right, Frank?
Well, he'll be fine.
Yeah, I'll get
Frank's
over
old
it.
school. He's like, hey, don't worry about it.
don't
You'll
worry
be all
about it.
right,
He'll be
kid.
fine.
Yeah, I'm a baby boomer. We learn how to deal with our stuff.
So tell us about your new show.
Yes.
Oh, man, it's been wild. It's been really exciting. So just so everybody knows, Frank is the one who really just hammered me and talked me into this, right? So the name of the show is The Third Rail, Where the Power Is. Of course, it's a reference to the subway trains of Chicago,
Yes.
where I grew up. Anybody from up north that has those trains, they know what I'm talking about when they say the third rail.
Yep.
You know, it's funny because a lot of people actually didn't know. Like, people were like telling me, like, what's the third rail? And I'm like,
Really?
it's where what controls the train. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so it was really trippy that a lot of people really didn't know, and you don't think about it, but if they never grew up where there's a subway,
Yeah,
they're just not going to know.
This is true. If they grew up in the suburbs or something, or well, here,
Yeah,
South
yeah.
Florida doesn't really. I mean, we don't have a subway system.
No, it's
You know,
funny
we got
because the one in Miami, they have one now in Miami. Because when I first moved down here, the one in Miami looked like a car, like a little bus.
Yeah,
It had
little
wheels on, like
yeah.
yeah. I was like, what
wheels
is
on
that?
the bus go round and round.
Yeah, it was really bizarre, moving down here. But yes, the show's called The Third Rail, and I interviewed Bruce Sosha was my first interview, and it really went well. And then I had Tony Visions on. The first two shows I was just talking about me coming down to Florida and the things that I experienced moving down here and
Yeah,
things
yeah.
like that. It was kind of wild, but Frank did talk me into it. He called me up and he's like, listen, what are you doing? You got an opportunity here to have a show. You need to do the show. And I was like, okay, Frank, I'm going to do the show.
Yeah.
I made him an offer he couldn't refuse.
He did. Him and Freddie, man, they had bats and everything. They were like, listen, guy, no.
Yeah. Knock on the door. Hey,
yo.
we want to talk
yo.
to you. Yeah.
So it's been cool. It's been a really cool experience doing my own show. It was just as nerve-wracking as you'd imagine it was. And, the first show, let me tell you, I could feel like the beads of sweat going down my right? And I'm like, they got to see this. And so I asked people, I was like, yo, could you see me sweating? They're like, no, you looked really confident. I was thinking, no way. I know I looked like one of those dummies, like, hey, somebody's hand is up there. It was
He
horrible.
was a show virgin. What can I say?
Yeah, sure.
But it worked.
Behave.
But it did work out. It's been fun. I got tonight. I'm gonna have director on the show, John Vargas, which of course I'm
Good
in a lot
man,
of his
good
films.
man.
Yeah, he is. I've done a couple of projects with him.
He's going to be on our show in about a month or so. I think.
Well, you
he
and I are
directed one that
in.
we did together.
Yeah, we're in
Yeah.
Loyalty or Betrayal.
Yep.
Which it's funny, because we did this movie called Loyalty or Betrayal, and Richard's in it. I'm in it, and I mean it's a short film, but I think it was such an intense, good film.
Yeah.
But man, did it not get received well? And I only think it's because of the situation with the father. I'm not going to give it away on you. Go look it up. You know, go on YouTube and look up Loyalty or Betrayal, Cinefreak. But I think that's what happened. But then he did this other short film called Side Effects, right? And man, it won all kinds of awards. And it was something that he just kind of was throwing together.
Yeah.
So now he's doing a full feature film called Side Effects based on the short film.
Nice.
And I get to be in it. So I'm excited. I'm filming Sunday.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah,
Very
I'm excited.
cool.
Finally back on set. It's been a while since I've been on set. So like finally, it's like,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
it's like you miss it.
I know. I do. You know, I'm always saying, you know, a day on set is always a good day. I haven't been on set in a while either. Well, I'm going to be on set for
Quite
like
some time.
for like 2 straight months.
But you know, it's
coming
like
up,
you're also a producer, so it's like you're a
Yeah.
producer, you're an actor, you're an acting coach. You know what I mean? So that's a whole nother.
Yeah.
You're out there in left field.
Yeah. Well, I've always been out in left field. Where's Rich? Oh, he's out there.
He's out there.
I tell people I'm so far out there, the Hubble telescope couldn't find me.
He's also an unconvicted felon. So
He's unconvicted. He's unconvicted.
Wow.
So Frank
he's
got
really
it out
out
for you
there.
today, bro.
I know, right? You know, he gets into these moods every once in a while. It's like, I'm going to get rich today.
You know,
Yeah,
I always worry because Frank's a writer. And so it's like you never know what's going on in his mind, whether it's going to be just some crazy thing that a writer can think up. Is it based off of a life experience? But he's like on time with it.
Yeah, I know. He definitely is a wordsmith.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kenny did one of my book covers too.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I
that's
have
right,
it
he
up
did.
here? No, they
There
didn't put
it
it up
is.
here.
Oh, they don't have it up there?
Oh,
They
he doesn't
didn't
have
put
it.
it up here.
One of those?
Bum, bum, bum.
Bum, bum.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to get smacked.
Off with their heads.
Off with their heads.
Yes, I did do your book cover, and it was an honor to be able to do that. And it
And
was
he's
great
in the book.
because I'm in the book. I'm part of. There's certain little stories that I told Frank that he was able to include those stories in the book. So I'm not going to tell you which ones are mine or not.
Is it about the guy that wears an orange jumpsuit? Or no?
No, that's Joe Rubo's book. Throw my boy right under the bus. I love him. I got to throw him under the bus.
Throw
every now and
him under the bus.
I'm actually doing his book cover
man,
as well.
Poor Joe. That's great.
I gotta send this because I know he's at work right now. So he's gonna be like, "Oh, really? You gotta throw me under the bus like that?"
I know. Today's show is 3 friends talking trash. That's what we're doing today.
You know, there's wine sessions. This is a trash
There's
session.
trash section.
So,
Oh man.
up next on our
New
list.
York, Chicago trash.
Yeah. New York, Chicago trash. Yeah. Oh
The
my
battle
God.
of the bigger rats.
That's it.
Yeah. Oh, Kenny, man.
You know when I
I
first-
love hanging with you, man. Whether it's
on
here
air or not.
Yeah.
From the heights to the river.
You know what's funny? Speaking of rats, when I first moved down here, I had never seen like a possum in person. And
Yeah,
so
that
You
looks
think
like
it was
a-
a New York rat
that's
with
a-
hair?
I was sitting down.
New York
I
rat
was
with
sitting
teeth.
outside, and I saw this thing walking across the fence, and I'm looking at it, and I look at my cousin, and I go, "Bro, your rat's got cancer? Like, what's going on here?" I didn't know what I was looking at. You know, I'll never forget that. Wow. And I actually talked about it on my show because of when I moved to Florida, there was so many like new things, like things that were just foreign to me. That I was just like, what the heck?
Iguanas that are like yay big.
Oh, yeah,
but you
now,
know,
yeah.
Now they're everywhere.
Now they're
When
everywhere.
I first moved down
Yeah.
here, they weren't everywhere. My cousin had one, and I was like, bro, where'd you get the dinosaur?
Yeah.
I got bit by things. I got bit by ants. I didn't know ants bit until I moved to Florida.
Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they get
they
revenge
do.
for everyone that I stepped on in Chicago. When I
did.
moved here, they got me. They were like, yeah, we got you.
Yeah, and if you step on an ant pile, I mean, it's like they come running, and if you walk away, they'll follow you.
Yeah.
They follow,
Listen,
yeah, they
follow you. They're all
left your
aggressive.
scent.
They'll
Left
let
your
you-
scent.
You were supposed to be talking entertainment stuff, and we straight went ADD on everything.
Well, anybody that has watched the show or anybody that has talked to me for more than 30 seconds know that I'm very ADHD, and my conversations are just
Going
all over the place.
place.
Yeah, that's why Frank every once in a while has to just kind of like, oh, anyway, so
all right,
we were
let's
saying because I go down these rabbit holes, and it's worse than Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
So what new
See?
you've got coming up?
He just did it now. Thank you.
Gotta get back on
Crack
track.
that whip, Frank.
So what's one of the new endeavors you got going on now?
So right now, I'm working on the film Side Effects with John Vargas, and then we are going to be shooting the series Northside. And then I'm also going to be doing some networking events that I want to put together through MagChop, working with the Florida Arts Network to be able to put on some entertainment industry networking events that can get producers, directors, actors, and musicians together.
Yeah.
Richard and I were speaking about this the other day because, you know, the movie Rocky. Who doesn't know it? You might have seen it once or twice.
I don't know.
But the song "Eye of the Tiger" was actually made for the movie. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't
know that either.
Yeah, I was so surprised to hear that. And then I started finding out that a lot of movies back in the 80s, the music that was in the movies was made for the movie. Like Tina Turner for Thunderdome. We Don't Need Another. That was made for
Specifically
the
for the
movie.
movie, yeah.
And so I looked at the basically what we have going on down here in the entertainment industry here, and I was like, man, every time you see movies being made now, they're taking songs that are already popular and they're throwing them in the movie. So it's a win-win for them. But it's not for the artist. The artist was already famous on that. What about the artist that can create a song that might be a hit and you put it in a movie?
Yeah.
And boom. So why not put together producers of music and movies and put them together and say, hey, listen, this is the movie, what it's about. Can your artist write a song that matches this? It might end up being a hit.
Yeah.
Or people like that they fall in love with the movie. Then what's going to happen? They're going to associate that song. They're going to want to hear it again.
Yeah.
And that's like
absolutely.
That's what I started off like before I started acting and everything. Is what my goal was, the ultimate. And you knew this. My goal was to get my artwork and my products into movies. Because I wanted to create movie memorabilia. I was like, this was an industry I was familiar with, and from my days with American Royal Arts, so I understood the value of memorabilia. And plus, I collect comics and things like that. So, I'm a collector myself.
Yeah.
So I know that there's a lot of people out there that collect things. And so, I wanted to be able to make this memorabilia. But what ended up happening was every time I was dealing with the producers, they're like, hey, you want to be in the movie?
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
And now there's an app that you can actually go on, take a picture of, circle
Yes.
the product in a movie, and the app will tell you where to get that product. I'm like, how do I register?
I know. Isn't that crazy?
It's nuts.
Isn't that crazy? I want to get some of your stuff in the film that I'm working on.
Let's do it. I'm game for
I really
it.
do.
I got
I already
everything.
shot an email out to a couple of the other producers, so let's see what we can
make it
what
happen.
we can work out. Yeah.
I love that, man. And listen, and that's what I want to do. Is we could put with what you guys got going on with Florida Arts Network, you got a vast amount of people. You got a really good grip on the talent down here in South Florida, and you have a lot of connections, both of you. So why not put together with the people and the connections that I've made over the years? Put them all together and say, listen,
we
let's
need
make
to do
movies
something together.
These are producers, these are directors, these are musicians. I have a good friend of mine that owns Audio Vision Studio. I'm going to have him at the next event. I've already spoken to him. Great guy, Johnny Mars. You know Johnny Mars, don't you?
Do I? I don't.
Yeah, I'm sure you've met him.
Yeah,
I remember the name.
Yeah, the name me suena.
Yeah, Mars Music. He was actually when I did Palm Beach Swim Week, I had Deja Rowe perform at that Palm Beach Swim Week, and she actually was managed by him at the time. And she's gone on to modeling and doing all kinds of. She's doing phenomenal now. But at that time, he was doing that.
I was there for that.
You were there for that. Yes,
Yeah,
you were.
I was there
I
for
think
that.
Miami Swim Week was like the biggest name show I did, but I think my best show was probably Palm Beach. I just kind of nailed it. That show I had every bathing suit. I had different sizes. It was just like, I don't know. There was something magical about
I gotta
that.
tell you, the one that you did in Orlando, I mean,
Yes.
blew people away.
It kind of did, yeah.
It really.
It was a
really
fun show.
did.
And it was funny because I was so frantic that one of the girls put on a bathing suit wrong. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, what did you do to my bathing suit?
I remember
and
that.
Richard goes, oh, this is what and he fixes it for her. And I'm like, oh yeah, I should have known that.
Yeah.
That was a really cool show. It was very
That
different.
really was. I
that
mean, people were like,
yeah.
what is this?
And then I had just introduced the leggings because I wanted to test it because I knew I was doing Miami Swim Week. So I wanted to test to see how the leggings looked on a runway, what kind of, because I like to do like antics on the runway. So I'm like, what can I do? And I had this girl come out and she had the leggings on and she had the bathing suit top and she had my buff, like one of the buffs on, the masks. And I had the buffs before the pandemic. But then the company that was making for me went under right before the pandemic, and I never had them ready for the pandemic.
Oh no!
I never could capitalize on that. It was like, come on, man.
If they'd have hung in there just a
Just a
little
little
bit
longer. It's a tad longer. But she came out, and I had a baseball bat. I spray painted it black, and I got a vinyl MagChop sticker on the end. So she's swinging around a bat that says MagChop. It was kind of powerful. It was
a great show.
It was.
But we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back to hear a little bit more about his upcoming antics.
Yeah, more from Chops Ruiz.
Kenny Chops.
Frank A. Ruffolo, a renowned author and screenwriter known for his books such as 10048, Blue Falcon, Memoir of a Soldier, and his latest, Samuel of Sarah. Check out his website, frankaruffolo.com, for more info or purchase his books on Amazon.
What's up, everybody? This is Adrian Ramante, but most of you know me as Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez from The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody. I just wanted to give a shout out to my man Richard Sosa. He is one of the best acting coaches that I've had the pleasure to work with, and he's actually worked with me in my program for many years, and I highly recommend this guy. So if you have an opportunity to work with him, what are you waiting for? Now, get out of my face. Esteban Julio Ricardo Montoya de Rosa Ramirez. I'm out.
You know, it's funny, we just saw this Adrian Armante on here. I'm going to be working with him the May 8th through the 11th. We're going to be up in Orlando. So we're going to need somebody to cover for me that on one of those things, because I'm going up on a Thursday. I'm going up there Thursday morning, so we'll need somebody to cover for me. Well, I mean, you know.
If you want me to do it, I'm going to tell you this. The last time I almost screwed up.
But you didn't.
Man.
You didn't. You did good. You did really good.
I did. But there was a moment that I was like, oh, the little bit of that came out.
Yeah, but it was all right.
You got your own show now. You're more seasoned. So, yeah, you got this.
Yeah, I'm seasoned. I got adobo.
Yeah, a little adobo.
It's a little adobo.
Yeah, you know what? When I'm away for 2 months, we're going to have to find somebody to cover for me, get a couple of different people. So.
Yeah, well, we'll get...
Cross that bridge when you get there, right?
Yeah. Which
Richard's mind is not here right now. He's like...
I know. You know, it's just... I have so much going on all the time. It's a miracle that I can trust myself. It's just
But being a producer, you're responsible for a lot, and you're going.
Yeah.
You've produced quite a bit. I've seen you produce and act in a lot. So I'm excited for you, man. This is dope.
We have a lot of things coming up. We've got a networking event at the Rooftop in Hilton, Pompano on June 25th. We've got a potluck picnic coming up the end of July.
Yep.
Oh, nice.
We want to do something with Kenny over here, maybe in May. So we got 3 things coming up. So that's pretty good.
Yeah. And we were talking about Rose, or you were talking about Rose a moment ago, and everything that has happened, Florida Arts Network, a lot of your success in the films and people like John Vargas and all these people, it all started at the Florida table.
Yeah, absolutely.
When Rose and I started that back in 2010, we never thought that we would make that much of an impact in the indie film industry and stuff like that.
Yeah, and me and Rich, I worked with Rose and we did a script, and now Rich and I are pushing that script for money to get it on the screen. That's Rose's. That was her thing.
Yeah. Yeah, and I have a filmmaker who wants to do it because he's like, I love the message. I love the it's a human trafficking film.
Yeah, so hopefully
that's the one, Stuck in Traffic.
Yeah, Stuck in Traffic. We gotta get you in front of the camera for that one.
Definitely.
We absolutely
He
do.
could
Yeah.
be part of. He could be one of the bad guys. He could be
Yeah,
one of-
he could be one of the coyotes,
He could be
you
one of the
know.
coyotes.
There you go.
Bring him.
Hey, I've played that role before, so
Yeah,
it
he's one of the
works.
coyotes. Yeah, there's a coyote in there. Yeah, there's a couple of
Yeah.
them.
You know what's funny? When I shot the scene as a coyote, there was some guys that were like, they were actually retired military, and they had actually seen coyotes in real life situations. And so the guy, when I was walking after I did the scene, the guy comes up to me, he goes, "Hey man, you know, is this something you did once in your life, you know, and, or you know, whatever?" And I was like, "No, not at all." And he goes,
Nothing I'm going to confess to.
"Yeah, you know what I mean, right?" And he's like, "Man, I mean, did you know?" And he goes, "Well, what do you do for a living?" And I mean, you know, because of the scene, I had to do it. I looked at him and I go, "Oh, I'm a fashion designer." And he goes,
I can imagine his face. You're a who?
He's like, "What?" It was epic. It was great.
Oh,
It was like
man.
one of those moments that was like, yeah, I just owned this guy.
Yeah, I know. It's like, doggone it, I wish somebody had been filming this. You know? Wait, hold on. Before I answer you, let me pull up.
Man, you know,
Answer me again?
that's a whole freaking thing that people can do to have their camera ready. Because, you know, I don't know. I can never get my camera out fast enough to record anything that I want to see. And I'm just like, all right, well, I remember.
That's why there's no pictures of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Okay, but you know what drives me crazy? When you got everybody filming, and there's a situation where somebody's getting their butt handed to them.
And nobody jumps in.
Yeah, nobody steps in to help or.
No, they
or
said they're filming.
No,
Yeah,
they're busy filming. They got to get to the right
Yeah.
shot.
Oh, I'm gonna get lots of likes on Instagram now. Oh, look at this. You know,
gonna go viral.
Oh yeah, look at that. You can see the blood gushing. Come on.
I know.
Come on.
I know. I feel bad when I did that, but you know, I got the tape. You know,
Yes.
I got 400,000 hits.
I got it on, man. I won.
Viral.
It went viral.
I knocked the phone out of the other guy's hand. I was like, yeah, I got it.
Oh, kind of like what Alec Baldwin did to that one woman that was harassing him at a coffee shop or something. You know, she wanted him to say something that she wants him to say, and he's
Alec
like,
Baldwin,
"Man, get
yeah.
out of my boom!" And
Now,
knocked
yeah,
the
but
phone
now
out.
he's got his own problems.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
know.
It's weird when you get like, because people, you know, and that's one of the things that like, since I've done some of the things I've done, like I have been recognized, right? And it's really bizarre when it happens because people just say the most random things to you. You know,
Yeah,
like
they do.
they recited, I was in Walmart and I was getting cereal and somebody walked up to me and they recited a line from Negativity to me, right? And it's like, "Where's my money?" You know, blank, 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 right?
Yeah.
So I'm looking at cereal. So I just kind of look at Buddy, you know, and he's like, "From the movie." And I go, "You should have led with that."
Yeah.
You were close. You know?
You were
should,
close
yeah.
and getting in trouble.
Should have led with that. I know. But it is kind of cool when you're recognized.
It really is.
Yeah.
I can see where people who are like super like A-list, where they can be like, "Oh my God, can I just go out to Walmart?" You know what I mean? But you know, I can see where that would be frustrating. But I also can.
Yeah.
I also feel like, man, you know, we work so hard in this industry to get, you know, to get accolades and to get noticed and to be able to say, "Hey, listen."
I was
I'm
at a
that
book
person.
signing, sitting at the table, and I'm looking across the parking lot, and there's a guy's coming, and he had a whole armful of my books.
He signed every one of them.
And he's coming up to my table, and he comes and goes, "Hey, I just bought all your books. I want you to sign them." And I went, "Holy crow!" And he wasn't even.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey,
Listen,
okay. sign
all right.
those books.
Yeah. I'll just get. Hey, Richard, can we do a selfie? I remember the first time that somebody asked me for my autograph. I was doing theater at the time, and so afterwards, you know, we would come on out. You know, we're talking to the audience, and this girl, I guess she must have been like 11, 12 years old, right? She has her program in her hand. She's like, "Would you autograph my program?" I said, "Yeah, sure, honey, no problem." You know, and I autographed it, and I handed it back to her. And me being the smart aleck that I am, you know, I was like, "Yeah, maybe it'll be worth something someday." And she takes it and she's like, "It's worth something to me now." And I'm like, "Oh, how sweet! That was so cute."
Richard couldn't leave the building that day. His head was so big, he was hitting the door.
I know they had to grease the doors to get my head out.
Butter him up.
Yeah. But it is kind of cool though.
It is. It really is. It's
It is,
been,
yeah.
it's like I've had, really cool. I've had people buy me a drink at a bar and be like, "Hey, man, I
Yeah.
saw what you're doing," and things like that. I've taken pictures like.
Haven't gotten out any tickets though.
No.
Haven't gotten out any
You know what?
tickets
I
yet.
have gotten out of tickets just using my charm. My wife, on the other hand, they always give her a ticket, but she's not nice. She's like, "All right, just give me my ticket," and I'm like, "No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to be like, 'Oh, how you doing, officer? Good afternoon. Huh? Hope you're being safe today.'"
Hello, Ossifer. All right.
I can't do the lean and squeeze thing. It
yeah,
won't work.
yeah.
Well, I can't believe that we're out of time already. It's crazy. Just got the
Time
the
flies when you're having fun.
Yeah, just got the 2-minute sign. Or
I thought he was throwing gang signs at you. I was like, "Oh, it's about to go down."
Ah, yeah, all right.
you should see his 1-minute sign. Anyway, okay, so we'll definitely be back with Kenny and his charm one day, and well, yeah, you'll see him here again.
And keeping.
I don't know if we want to have him as a regular, but we'll definitely we'll definitely have him back. I've known Kenny a long time, man. I love this guy. I love this
Or does
guy.
he?
But
Or does he?
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming
for
back
showing
on
up.
the show.
Thank you guys for
Yeah,
having me.
yeah, absolutely. We're planning a lot of things with
We're
you.
going to be finding
Let's
some
make
films
stuff
with
happen.
Kenny and stuff.
Yeah, we gotta make stuff happen.
And you can be a sponsor on this show for as little as $75. If you need a sizzle reel made, if you need a commercial made, contact us on our website, floridaartsnetwork.org, for our pricing and for sponsor packages. And check out our GoFundMe, and all our donations are tax deductible.
Yes, they are. So if you need that break, you need a break before April 15th next year. Hey, we'll help you with it.
We'll help you with the break.
Yeah. And you'll be helping kids, introducing them to the arts, and you'll be helping support people that are creating the art already, people like Kenny. All right. Well, another episode down, in the can, like they used to say.
You're going to do the clapper?
Am I going to do the clapper? All right. Yes.
Thank you for watching The Artist Loft. Make sure to tune in next time for another great show. A show that was produced by Ant Media Productions and hosted by the Florida Arts Network with your hosts Richard Sosa and Frank A. Ruffolo.